Greetings. This is Arvette McLean with Speak, the Universe Listens. New ways to view age-old challenges. Change your thoughts, change your life. Step into the bigness of you. Greetings and welcome to today's episode of Speak, the Universe Listens. Today's topic is your inner and outer world are always a perfect match. And I have Teron joining me.
Hey everybody.
Rodney.
Hey.
And Steven.
Hey.
Hey guys.
Hey.
So I would imagine this would be a very controversial topic. And so with us saying the inner world and the outer world are always a perfect match. And so often we look outside of us and we just see trauma, drama, everything that's not right. And how can that be a perfect match to our inner world? So I think I want to start by, if you guys can say some of the things that like you or you would imagine other people would think, how can this be a perfect match to what's going on inside of me?
Homelessness, I guess I'm thinking from a grand scheme.
Someone feeling like someone treating you bad. That's some people ask.
That feeling of not feeling like enough, I think.
Is that your inner world or your outer world?
A little bit of both, actually. You know, I think you can see in a like outer world, you don't feel like enough. Like when you walking into a room and you like, I just don't feel like I fit in here. But I also think, right on part with the topic, that's because of what's happening in your inner world. So a little both.
The eyeball. That's what I feel like at times. The eyeball with some like what you were saying, not fitting in certain situations. So I think thinking like that is probably cutting off a lot of blessings that I'm probably missing out on.
Okay, so and I think a lot of times I think Rodney said being treated poorly. Like I know for me, like I was one of the nicest people.
Right.
And then bad things would happen. And I'm like, if someone were to say to me that my outer world is a reflection of my inner world, and I'm just like, well, no, I'm one of the nicest people I know. So why is all this stuff happening? You know, or another thing is I was always this person who, you know, things have got to be done right. You know, it's got to be done. It's got to be done on time. It's got to be done right. And basically, I'm embarrassed to say this, but the truth is the truth. So I would be like, I gotta do your job. Why am I paying you? If I gotta do your job anyway, what am I paying you for? You know, so it was always. And I didn't say that to the people, but that is what was in my head. If any of my old employees are watching, I'm not talking about you.
Whichever one you are.
They want you to know.
But no, seriously, like because I was a person who was so, you know, so detail oriented. I'm gonna be where I say I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be on time. I'm gonna do everything. So why can't you do this little part? So if you were to tell me my outer world was reflecting my inner world, I would be like, how can that be?
I think it took me a while to really fully understand that. Looking at, I said, I'm more of like an oddball, right? And so I look at my outer world.
Look, we said, you are.
Oh, So I look at my outer world, and it's a lot of things that I see that is odd to me, you know, and it's not in a bad way, but when I think about it, I'm like, well, why am I doing this? You know what I'm saying? Or why am I talking to this person here? We really don't have nothing in common. Or, you know, it's like, why am I attracting this group, this certain group of people? You know, and I'm thinking to myself, well, dang, I don't know. And then I look at my inside, and I'm like, well, not look at my inside, but just think to myself, like, dang, okay, I mean, I do think odd. I don't think like everybody else think. These people out here, they don't think like how everybody else think. So for me, getting to the point of realizing like whatever I'm thinking and how I'm feeling on the inside, that's what's going to be in my outer world. So how do I really want my outer world to be? You know, do I want my outer world to be like how I'm really feeling in the inside? So that just makes me every day. I mean, it's constant work. Just thinking about, okay, so how I'm feeling today, you know, or how I'm feeling about myself. Am I in a good state of being? And, you know, am I feeling good? You know, so something I try to continuously check in with myself.
Yeah, it took me a while to get there, and I think I think where I used to always see it. Now looking back, where I used to always see my outer world reflecting my inner world was actually on the grand scheme of like love. I would always like desire a love that I just never felt like I was receiving. But I was like, but I felt a lot like you. Like, I'm nice, I'm a loving person. Like, I should be getting this back. Like, this is all I'm putting out. But then I realized that the issue wasn't a outer love thing. It was a inner self love that needed to be addressed. And once that was addressed, then the outer world started pouring love into me too. Well, no, not even. That's false. Once I dug in and found like the inner self-love, I was able to acknowledge the outer love that was already being poured in. And I think that was when I realized, oh, like it all connects. Like what you see on the outside is also what you feel on the inside. So if you're walking around feeling a certain way, you're gonna see things that like reflect that. And it may not be like exactly like an exact reflection, but like if you're angry, you're gonna see like bad things in the world, or you're only gonna notice like, not bad, you're gonna notice like what you feel are shortcomings of the world. But like if you're up on a high or whatever and you feeling good, you just notice the leaves bubbling up a little greener. You see all the flowers, you start talking about the different tones and the different things of colors. Yeah.
On this topic, I would say just read our Vest Children book, Tom. It like puts it so clear and simple. Like, but I would say when I realized it was at work, you know, feeling like, hey, I deserve this or I deserve that, or a job might come up, a promotion, and the whole office may feel like I'm supposed to get it. I may feel like I'm supposed to get it, but I don't. And I had to think like, why? And I realized that it was how I felt about me having that. I felt like I'm too young to be telling people older than me what to do, or you know, or feeling like I ain't ready, or feeling fear about it. So it was how I felt about myself. Why I didn't get certain promotions and things. But I'm thinking, you know, they out to get me. They ain't trying to see me do good. You know, all those things. But it's really, I felt I wasn't ready, or I didn't feel 100% I was ready.
I think I had that same mindset at one time too. I thought I had the exact same, and I didn't realize that thinking like that blocks so many blessings that you're supposed to be receiving. And it's like you feel like, all right, I don't deserve this, but why is it that you don't deserve it? You know, you work for it. You know, you put in the effort that you needed to put in for it, and you possibly did really want it, but now that it's here, you tell yourself, okay, nah, I don't think I can do that. And so for me, knowing that, I had to sort of like shift my thinking on that, because the biggest thing was, how did I truly really feel about let's say getting that promotion? You know, I knew I wanted that promotion, you know. So even though, you know, it's things that come with it, can you take those things on? So, hey, can I do it? So I think it's just all about what people tell themselves. You know, if you tell yourself that you can't do something, 9 times out of 10, you possibly ain't gonna do it. You know, but if you believe that you can do something, you'll do it. So, really, just basically just changing that. You know, how you look at things really is the biggest thing I can say with that. For me, just change your perspective on it, really.
I think a lot of times we look for things outside of us to make us feel differently. Like, I want to be happy today. Let me go do this or go do that. When it's really inside what you're not, you know, that's not feeling good, and so you can't fix inside by doing something outside. So I feel like, like Tyrone was saying, addressing that inner self-love, because I think it all comes back to, like we've been saying, how you feel about yourself.
Yeah, true.
You know, I would look at things happening or feeling a certain way about things, and then I would have to step back like, well, maybe the way they was treating me wasn't wrong, because that's how I felt about me too. Why wouldn't they treat me like that? Or why wouldn't they, you know? Right. So I think it's all how you feel about yourself and how much you love yourself. Self-love.
Yes.
Self-love.
And what about, let's say, if you are experiencing, well, let's start easy. Let's just say you're experiencing people who are angry or, you know, coming into your environment in an agitated way. How is that? And you just as happy as a lark, and then they come in. How is that a reflection of your inner world?
From my point of view, I would look at that as like that could be a test for you, because I possibly may react, you know, give them the same energy that they're giving me, and now I'm realizing, okay, that I have to change that. So now this individual is here and they're giving me that energy that at once I would have gave them back. So I'm in the position as to where I can either give it back to them, or I can sit back and I can step in that power that I know that I don't want to. I know I want to be my higher self, so I'm gonna walk in my higher self. If you understand, I'm trying to get it out. But basically, not allowing somebody to get me out of my square. If I know that I want to be my higher self, I'm gonna stay my higher self. Now, this person, they are presenting a challenge to me. So for me, I would sit back and just continue to be who I want to be, not who they want me to be.
But why are they in your face in the first place?
I tested me. That's my thought process.
I always felt like if somebody's like upset and angry in my face, then there's something in me that just isn't at peace. Okay, I've recently just came up with this too, because I've been doing this lately. You know, combating negative energy by never seeing it as negative, but just seeing it as powerful, you know? So like anger is just another powerful vibration, but so is love. So where it looks like anger, I just need to approach with love, and it's the same feeling, but completely different, I guess, in a sense. Like it's the same level of like magnitude of like, it feels very like on and present, but I don't know. I guess I'm lost on what I'm trying to say too. Like all of a sudden, where is this going? Yeah.
But I think that's another part of it too. It's not just, you know, a test, but it's so many things that comes with it. You may have anger issues at one time, and you're trying to overcome it. So it's always going to present itself to you in some way, some form, and it's like, okay, so what you going to do now? You know, how are you going to react, or what is it? It's almost like it's giving you that awareness to really look inside you and see like, okay, why is this person agitating me so bad? You know, what is it? Where somewhere you may not know exactly, but when you just take the time out and you think about it, and then you be like, okay, I think this is what it is, you know. And then it's like it doesn't bother you as much because you're aware.
And what about if someone is, you know, racist and calling you, you know, terrible names? How is that a reflection of your inner world?
That one, oddly enough, that one feels a lot easier for me to process. That just immediately self-worth. Like, if that person is spewing out those words to me, then there's something, I automatically process, there's something in me that doesn't feel worthy enough, because when I feel worthy enough, I won't even acknowledge that energy as being present. It's like that's just there type of thing. Like, not even just there, it's not there. Like, it just legit isn't there. But like when I know I'm missing something, you find like random things popping up in your life. It's like, well, why is this happening? But it's like, well, no, because there's something that you need to address, that you're looking to address, or that you felt like you addressed, but you really didn't. You just kind of you faked it, I think.
For me, it all comes back to the same thing for me, like how I'm feeling in the inside, like my self-love, really. So somebody being angry and all of that, I can come in here with a smile on my face and I can be angry about something towards myself. You know, like, I ain't do this, I ain't do that, or something, you know. So in my outer world, I'm getting somebody being angry at me the same way I'm angry at myself.
Exactly. And it's nothing out there that's happening that you haven't done to yourself. So if someone's judging you, how many times have you judged yourself?
Right.
If someone is putting you down, how many times have you put yourself down? If someone is, you know, being rude, how many times have you been rude to yourself? If someone ignores you, how many times have you ignored yourself? And so, like Teron was saying, whatever is going on in here, you're gonna attract, you're gonna be vibrating at that level. And so you're gonna attract those things to you that is of equal vibration or similar vibration. Now, the beauty is we get to say, oh, it's that person, and we get to be mad at those people. But when you start taking responsibility for these things and are like, okay, that's a reflection of me, then you have power. You have control, you're able to flip things around. But anytime there's something out there you have no control over, you don't have control over people being racist or people ignoring you or stepping on your feet in the store or war, etc. You don't have control of that. But you do have control of what's going on in here. And then that's what your attention is going to be drawn to. Whatever is going on in here, that's what you're going to see in your outer world. And so a lot of times, you know, like, for example, I'm saying, you know, I do perfection. Like, you know, I cross every T, dot every I, I'm on time, da. Why can't they blank? Well, that's me judging them because I'm thinking they're not doing it right, they're not doing it good enough. But that's because of my own harshness about myself. Like, I gotta get it right, because if I don't get it right, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy unless I do this to perfection. So like everything, you can flip it, you know, or like a lot of times you may see beautiful, kind, loving woman who may be in a relationship with an abusive man, and you're like, that's not a perfect match. Right. But when you go behind the scene and you talk to her a little bit, what do you find out? She don't like herself too much. Right. You know, she has low self-worth, low self-esteem, etc. And the same with him. So he has low self-worth, self-esteem, but they just express it in two different ways.
Yeah, and just thinking about that, it makes me think about like my outer world. I have a lot of coworkers, friends, associates, just people in general that know me, and they will say, "You always like to be helpful." What I post on my page is very helpful and encouraging. And when I think about it, everything in the inside, I'm doing that for myself. I'm sitting back and I'm actually doing the work on myself on an everyday basis. So what I'm doing on the inside, I'm putting it out on an everyday basis to everybody else. So my reflection back to me is like, thank you, or I appreciate it, I needed that. And then to me, it's like, I do that for myself behind closed doors. I'm like, you know what, today gonna be a good day. You know what, you're aware of this situation, so now you're aware of it. How you gonna operate, Steve? What are you gonna do about it? And like I said, it's a continuous thing to work on.
Yeah, I think this concept too is challenging in a romantic relationship, because you looking at that person like, this my person, like, they need to make me happy. If I'm sad, like they need to fix that. Or like you're looking to this person to do all these things, and it's like, no one can make you happy.
True.
Like, you got to be happy within yourself before anything.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of times in romantic relationships, like I hear this all the time, they wasn't making me happy. I wasn't happy. But you really weren't happy within. Yeah.
And I say this all the time, and I want to make sure I start saying it even more frequently. So I think we really need to have a conversation, because I've been hesitant to talk about third dimensional reality, fourth dimensional reality, fifth dimension. Technically, it's no fourth, but there's a little transitional from third to fifth. But a lot of times when we talk about, we got to go inside and do the work, and we got to dig and work, and that's very third dimensional, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that. But that's just the hard way. It's the long way. It takes so long. And this podcast, we started off in fourth dimension, and we're moving to fifth. And like I say, for the audience, we need to talk about third, fourth, and fifth a little bit more. I haven't used those words, but we talk about it. Our team talks about it, and we're able to clearly put in, this is third dimension, this is fourth dimension, and this is fifth dimension. And this whole podcast is really talking about us shifting from third into fifth dimension. So as the guys have alluded to, like, there's often something within that we haven't addressed properly. And the third dimensional way of addressing it is to go in and think about it and try to change it and be consistent and take action and maybe go to therapy and talk to your friends about it. And that's very third dimension, and it will take forever to do it that way. And when I say forever, it could take a year or 6 months or however long. But we really can make that change in this moment, right now, today, in this second. And all we have to do is just elevate our consciousness and just see ourselves where we want to be, instead of seeing ourselves where we were. See ourselves as worthy. Decide that we are worthy. Decide right now, in this moment, I am worthy. Decide in this moment that I love myself. And when you decide, for example, you decide that you love yourself, what does it feel like to love yourself? What does love feel like? Have you ever felt love before? Have you felt it from another person? Have you expressed it to another person? Have you felt it for another person? Or even a thing, like, I love the sun. Or, I love rainbows. But if you know what that feeling of love feels like, feel it right now. Feel it in your heart. Feel it for yourself. Feel the love well up in your body right now. And then you just keep making this same decision every day. I love me. And then feel it, just pour it on. And whatever it is, I feel worthy. I'm worthy. What does that feel like? What does it feel like to feel worthy, and feel it right now. Just start feeling it. So you're just replacing. You don't have to dig up all of that. And when I was a kid, my daddy used to, kick me, whatever.
Right.
You don't have to do that anymore. Like, okay, that happened. And it happened for you. It served its purpose, right? But now we're moving into fifth dimension where we realize we have we're powerful beings, and we have the power in every moment to make a different choice in every single moment. We don't have to hold on, bring all that stuff from the past, because guess what? There's really no such thing as the past. So in every moment, every present moment, that's where the power is. All of our power is in the present moment. And so in the present moment, I love me. Dang, I love me.
I love me too.
So whatever it is, in the present moment, I'm healthy. What does that feel like? What does it feel like to be healthy? In the present moment, I'm strong. In the present moment, I'm abundant. And just start feeling those feelings. So you're feeling into whatever it is that you want to bring forth, because you already are all those things anyway. So you're just bringing it to your conscious awareness.
And then I say every day, for me, I try to do it every day. I might miss a day or two, but for the most part, just when I'm on the road and I'm on my way to work, I'll say to myself, I am wealthy, I am abundant, I am happy. I just keep telling myself I am on so many levels, and the words that I use, I find words to describe me, how I want to be, or how me in the present moment, how I am in the present moment. And I noticed that my mood for the whole entire day is just, it's in a good state. It's like where I want to be at, So I would remind myself anytime that I'm not where I would like to be mentally or emotionally, I think of moments as to where, okay, what made me feel happy, So whatever made me feel happy, that's what I try to think of, or something similar to that to get me like, all right, cool. So now I'm back, I'm focused, I'm good.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was gonna say that similar, like when if you having a hard time getting to that point where you feeling good, I would say think about how you felt when you felt you looked good, or felt you got a new pair of shoes you want to show off, or you got your hair done.
Right.
Like, how did you feel then? Like they used to have, they had this saying in sports, like, if you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you play good.
Yeah.
So it's like, keep that feeling of, that feeling good about yourself. Like, so I would say do that.
Yeah, and I agree. I think it just always remember that everything on the outside is also a reflection of what's happening in. And so, like, start your days off with intention. Like, lately, every day I wake up and go, whoo, money making Thursday, money making Friday. Like, every day is just a money making day. And I think it does a great job of setting the energy that I'm walking into the day with. And as a result, I feel like I see that energy a lot more frequently.
And I do want to reiterate, because everybody has said it, but like a lot of times when people do affirmations, they're just saying words, and we're not talking about just saying words like I am, whatever. You have to really feel it, and however many times it takes to feel it. So if I'm saying I love me, 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 I love me. And then you just say it until your whole body, every cell in your body is vibrating with love. And maybe in the beginning it might take you saying it 100 times. Typically now for me, I can usually always get there like within 3 times. But it feels so good that I still say it like 100 times. And I just like, I love me. I love me. I love me. I love me. And ooh, I got the chill. But really, that's what you want to feel when you are doing your affirmations. You're going to feel them in every fiber, every cell of your body. And personally, I only do like 1 or 2, at a time, because I want to really
Fit.
like just spend time with it. And I do want to add right now, even though I don't even think this will be off topic now, but we want to say these affirmations not because we're trying to get something.
Right.
Like, you're not trying to get something. You're not trying to get money or whatever your affirmation is for the day. You're saying it because it feels so good to say it. That's why you're saying it, because it feels so good to say it. And you, truthfully, sometimes I do have to make myself get started. But it really should feel so good that you can't wait to do it. And I'm not sure why sometimes I have to force myself to get started. But once I get started, it's hard for me to stop. All right, thank y'all. I hope we dissected this topic enough for you in terms of what's on your inner world reflects your outer world, because I would think that this would be something that would be a challenge for people to really get. And I know the audience can probably come up with 1,000 things like, well, this is happening in my outer world. I know that's not in my inner world. So if so, give us a send us a message, and we can talk about it again a little more. And of course, as always, we would love to have you guys on the show. So if ever you would like to come on, just let us know. But until next time, this is Arvette.
This is Steve.
Running.
It's Ron.
Bye.